Good evening everyone. Welcome to my channel Bhavya Astro, which was Lotus Astro earlier. Today I'm going to cover a very important topic with you, which is the Northwest region. Normally in general the Northwest region is considered to be the region for movement, the area, the direction in which if you've got your stuck goods, if you've got something which is not being sold for quite a longer time, that is the zone where you can keep all your stocks, articles or else whatever you sell. Now, throwing some more light over this, I would like to go ahead and give you an example. A couple of months back, I went to one of my friend's store who had already done a very advanced level of Vastu, in which he's also activated the DEVTA energy field. He's activated Bhalat, he's activated Anil, Akash. However, still it's been somewhere around 7 or 8 months, and above all, there's a Vastu expert who's also told him to place all your articles in, the Northwest region. Amazing! It was a very good suggestion giving. However, when you're talking about an individual chart, every chart differs. Like my chart would differ from your chart. It is the same way when you're talking about Vastu. Let me explain you something very important. Most important, you need to go ahead and check your individual chart. What is your Lagna? What's your northward direction coming in? Which house is it coming in? Which house is it going and activating on your chart? I'll give you an example. I'll explain you the entire thing what happened. I went to this person's store. He's running a garment boutique in which he has some very beautiful ladies wear. He's doing kurtis. He's doing some lovely fabric and after he's been advised, he's even kept all the costly stuff which is stuck for quite some time, over a year now. There are customers coming, they are inquiring about the products. They love the products, but when it comes to get the gains from that, when it comes about getting some results from the kind of effort which he's getting nothing out of it. Now there is when it struck to me that I should ask him whether his astrological chart is seen or not before going ahead and advising him to place all the stuff which is stuck in the Northwest. And what he said, before that I used to get some sales, but now what has happened, for some reasons it's gone ahead and it stopped completely. So going further with that, I went ahead and I made a chart for him. I made his astrological chart, and for all those who do not know what's an astrological chart, it's your kundli, which we call in Hindi, which it's well known as your kundli. And if you don't know how to make it, you can always give us a call. We could help you out with this, or else you can get onto the Astro Sage app, click on the kundli. That you'll get two options, a new kundli. In this you can add your time, your date of birth, your place of birth, longitude, latitude, the place where you're born, and you can save that chart. Once you have that, you will have a chart coming up which will have 12 sections. The first centermost section would be the Lagna. That is the first house on your chart. And overall we've got 12 houses on the chart. So it starts from the first house and it will go up till the 12th house. So that you have a clear idea about what I'm talking. Now for every individual, this specific direction will rotate as per the Lagna on your chart. Let me get into this a little more. Say for example, we've got an Aries ascendant. First Aries ascendant, the number 1 Aries will come in the first house. After which the second house, there would be the number 2. Now number 2 is the region for Northwest, that is the Northwest. Number 3 would be NNW, the North-Northwest. This is very advanced information in Vastu which I would like to share with you, so that you all have an understanding that before jumping and activating the DEVTA energy field, activating all the possible things which have been advised, understand your chart. If you're into retail, or else if you're getting into a retail business, you have a 2 and 7 active very clearly, but what's on the nakshatra level, what's in the sub level, what's your 7th lord, what's the nakshatra of your 7th lord, where is the sub lord of your nakshatra located, you will not be able to know what actually this business is going to give you. Now for him, he was a Libra ascendant. Now when you're talking about a Libra ascendant, if you come to the 8th house, now the first house is number 7. If you'll count 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So the 8th house had the number 2 present over there. That means here the northwest direction of this person has become the 8th house. The trouble, the problematic house, the problem generator, the problem creator. Okay, though it's a blessed house if you are into the 8th house related work. Now when you go in depth and you check, you would see that he's got 3 planets, Mercury, Venus and Sun sitting in the 8th house. Now in astrology we have something which is very important, which is also called the aspects. Activating devtas, activating Bhallat, Anil, Akash and 10 other devtas. It's fine, you can go to that step if needed. Always we don't need to activate the devta energy field. If you understand what's stored on your chart, you can automatically treat that specific house and clear the problem, whatever problem is coming. So now this person had 3 planets sitting in the 8th house. 3 planets sitting in the 8th house. First was Mercury, second was Venus and Sun. I'll not talk about Mercury and Sun over here because Mercury and Sun were not the problem creating planets. Now he is into a ladies garment business. Now 2 number is the sign which is coming in the 8th house. Opposite that, if you will see, exactly opposite that will be the 2nd house. Venus is placed at 18 degrees on the 8th house, in the 8th house. From the 8th house, when we are going to talk about aspects, in Western astrology there are some very important aspects which are taken into consideration when we are talking about the aspect theory. It's people in India call it the hit theory, but actually it's the aspects. So we've got different aspects like a 45-degree aspect which a planet could give a house or else a planet. Then we've got the 90-degree aspect and a harsh aspect as a 180-degree. Now if Venus is sitting in the 8th house with the 18 degree, it will look at the 2nd house giving a 180 degree, and it will also look at the 11th house with a 90 degree. Now the problem of this person is that there are people coming, but the people are not buying the things. They love the things but they are not ready to buy it. So if we go in depth and we understand the aspect theory, there we do not have the devta energy field coming in the picture at all. That is something which would come to enhance the zones. But if you are damaging a specific house and then you are expecting to get results, expecting to get massive results, it does not work this way. So when Venus is sitting in the 8th house with an 18 degree and it's looking at the 2nd house, which is results of a self effort, and a 90 degree aspect to the 11th house, which means that he is going to not get gains no matter whoever comes, because both the houses of income are completely damaged because of Venus being placed there. Now what actually happened in this scenario, all the expensive stuffs in Venus, in the form of Venus, were placed in the northwestern direction. So either in the northwestern direction or else the houses which have been aspected by the direction, that's the 11th house direction and the 2nd house direction, the presence of Venus will go ahead and create this yoga or create this problem in this person's life, which was very clear. So what you need to do, I'll even tell you what you need to do in this case. Firstly, understand your chart. Understand how the zodiacs are rotating on your chart. Understand, for example, northwest I've told you is the Taurus zodiac, and next to it would be NNW. So what you need to do, every zodiac sign on a chart is 30 degrees. You need to shift your things from northwest and place them at NNW region. Try it. You will get results within the next 15 days. Try it and do it. This is if you are a Libra ascendant. The same way your zodiac would change, you need to actually see whichever house is your problem. If you have 11th house problem, 11th house of gains, please see it the 5th house. If the 5th house is going to go ahead and give you, a bad aspect, I won't call it hit because it's not a hit, it's an aspect. If the 5th house is giving a 180 degree aspect to the 11th house, that means it's a problem. Say if you're talking about health, the 1st house is you, that is a LAGNA, the 7th house is the opposite of it, correct? So if you have a planet sitting in the 7th house, it will look at the 1st house, say I have Mars sitting in my 7th house. My Mars is giving a 180 degree aspect to my LAGNA, right? So whichever sign is present, Say for example, my Mars is sitting in we'll take another direction, a 7 number direction. Say there's 7. That's WSW. It's looking at the opposite direction. That's 1 number, that's the east. So both these directions don't need to have Mars present over there. Please do not go ahead with a standard chart saying Aries would be the ascendant for each and every individual. It does not work this way. So I hope you have understood how to treat a major hit or else an aspect. You need to just go ahead and shift it as per your chart, calculating the degrees. And yes, very soon we are going to go ahead and introduce our ASTRO-VASTU course, in which I'll be covering everything, basics to advanced. And when I say advanced, yes, I'll be covering the basics, the elements. Just to run you through, I'll be covering the directions, the elements, zones, the ASTRO-VASTU chart, how to make your chart, how to understand your chart, what's stored in KP, what's stored in your dashas, DEVTA, the DEVTA energy field, how to go ahead and activate that. So stay tuned. And yes, for all those who are new to the channel, do subscribe to it and share the link with your family and friends, and do like the video. I hope you've got insights about how to use ASTRO-VASTU. Understand your problem. Whatever is the problem, please go to that specific house. If it's kids, go to the 5th house. If you're talking about relationship, go to the 7th house. If you're talking about marriage not happening, check the 6th house, which is 12th from the 7th house. I'll be covering all this in depth in one single course, and this course will be almost for an entire month, in which I'll be taking all the advanced inputs and giving you all information about ASTRO-VASTU, not just Vastu. I will not cover the DEVTA field and say, yes, this is the most important. I will not jump. I will not do KP and just say that KP is most important and I will not sort out the DEVTA energy field. I will not do basic and say, okay, fine, we will do a course with KP some other day. I will not go ahead and just teach you KP without understanding what is astrology, what are the different houses, what are the different bhavas. So I'll go step by step. So if you're a fresher who does not understand anything, just buy an astrology book so that you at least understand what the zodiacs are, what you understand, with each and every sign, what are the attributes, so that you have a rough idea. Otherwise, I'll be covering that as well. So we'll start with basic and we'll cover each and every topic in depth with practical explanation. And I'll be the one point of contact. I'll not have somebody talking on behalf of me. So you will be coordinating with me, discussing. So very soon we will go ahead and promote this upcoming batch of ASTRO-VASTU, and hope to see most of you all joining in. Previous week there were a lot of inquiries for the courses wherein people were confused. Most of them have done the DEVTA energy field, most of them have done KP, but the main problem here is they are not being able to amalgamate all. When they are doing an advanced level, they would say, no, your chart is not important. How could your chart not be important in your life to go ahead and sort out the issue which is going on? How can Vastu go ahead and sort out your issue until and unless you don't know what's the issue and what's the cure for it? Please understand the concept of ASTRO-VASTU. Whatever your chart is, that's the way our Vastu is going to work for us. It's no magic. It is just treating your problem. First treat it on yourself, then understand the zone, then treat that zone, wait for some time, get results with that, then go ahead activating each and everything in your house. So thank you so much for watching the video, and do like and subscribe. Good night and God bless you.